Hello? Wait. Work? Camera? Please, I beg of you. Where? Camera? Camera, please. Uh. Oh, I'm back! Oh my god, it's way more than a voice. It's way more than a voice. Let me put up. My dog is in the background. I can't do shit about it. Oh my god. Hold up. Let me, please. Oh my god, what's wrong with this? Stretch. I haven't done a face cam stream in a while, so this is legit. This is horrible. Oh, why is it like that? Give me a second. I gotta make it not stretched. Or at least as little stretched as possible. Yes, I'm very... Am I less squished? Does this look less squished? Am I less squished? I think I'm still squished, but... I will take less squished. Hold on. Here, can I... Oh yeah, hold on. There, oh yeah, no, that's it. That's what I'm looking for right there. Oh yeah, there it is. Face cam stream, everybody. We're getting right into it, of course. Unsquish me. Oh, okay. I have no idea how to make this work other than like maybe increase the just chatting box. I don't do face cam streams, so I'm actually like, that might work. How's everyone doing? Hopefully we're chilling. That's good. I will take it. My face is so shiny. Hold on. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good. I did not know my stream was that, like, in its time. Hold on, let me turn this on. Vibing. Good enough to want to do a in-person stream. What did I click? I clicked buttons. I accidentally clicked my... Oh, this is horrible. Replay? Oh yeah. What the... Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's great. Okay. There we go. I'll do that. That should fix my issue. What the... Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's great. I have that, by the way. I love that. It's so cool. It's just, I can switch, have that, and then if I want, I could just pop. Yeah, except it's not supposed to make my... It's not supposed to make my face cam disappear. I'm also confused. Okay, hold up. I know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's great. I need... Where's my video capture device? It is... What the... Rare. Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's great. Hello? Okay. What the... Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's great. Okay. Is it repeating itself? What the... Yeah, I love that. Oh, the replay has its own audio. That's what was causing that issue. For some reason, the replay had its own audio. Hold on. There you go. This is what happens when you don't do face cam streams, everybody. Okay. I think my face cam, by the way, this is my face cam. How am I supposed to show this to you? How? I didn't think about this, did I? I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone. I'm on a phone. Literally my phone. My phone is my face cam. It's such a cool program that I didn't know existed. I don't own a face cam, so here we are. I think it's pretty set. I hope that the replay isn't still doing its thing. Now I am going to put OBS over here because I am supposed to be recording this specifically. It is, what is it? It is, yeah, there we go. Hello? Where is it? Why are you hydrating me? Okay. Now I'm gonna be honest. Hydrate. Did you say or die straight? What do you want from me? Here, hold on. I am straight. What are you expecting here? No. The hydrate thing, the redeem for hydrate does not say water. So full throttle it is, everybody. I'm hydrating. I like to think that that's hydrating. I have been awake since 6 in the morning because that's the time I wake up for work. It is now 12:11 in the morning, a.m., but 12:11. And I just started streaming, so be prepared for me to be on for a while. I can hydrate and drink an energy drink and hold on. I'm on my phone. You're coming with me. Give me a second. Okay. Let me just... Okay. I stepped on my sword. I stepped on my sword. Oh, please. Okay, I'm making a mess of everything. Everything. I'm making a mess. Okay. Okay. I could just take you for a trip and you guys cannot hear what I'm doing because I don't think you can. I have a podcast mic, so I don't know what it captures when I walk away. Yeah, it's on the floor. I stepped on it just right in the corner. It kind of hurted. It did not feel great. It's supposed to be right there. It's supposed to be like on the wall next to Shadow the Hedgehog. Also, fan art. I love this thing. Also have like so much. That's fan art, but different kind of fan art. It's of my favorite character. Somebody made it for me. I love Okiora, and there's just, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff, but I love this. I love it so much. Okay. Also, I got this signed. It's for Epic the Musical. I got it signed. It's great. It was also like $50, $60. Also, if you see me look over here, I'm probably rolling a bunch of random dice. Where'd I put the water? Over here. I'm gonna drink energy drink and water. They should counter each other, I think. I think that's how that works. Hey, I need you. Hey, listen, phone. I don't do face cam streams. I understand, but don't fight me. I don't know if you can tell by the tab that I have open. I have been working on this for a minute. Purple is one of my favorite colors. I actually really like that. Top tier purple. I want to cut my hair. My hair, by the way, pink scrunchy. I am so swaggy. But my hair is so long, it goes down to like my middle back. I want to cut it shoulder length and then get like blue highlights or something. I don't know. But royal blue is my favorite color. I don't know how many people are here, but while we're here and I have people's attention, I have been for the past like week working on my very own ttrpg system called Aetherfall ttrpg. Yeah, my head hurts. I have been doing this for so long and I decided to start streaming after already doing this for 4 hours. Arctic Fox. Okay, if I decide to dye my hair, I'll check it out. Okay. Aetherfall ttrpg is a system I want to work on. I more than want to work on. Yeah, of course it's called Arctic Fox. It fits you. This is... Let me just do this real quick. Hello? Hello? What in the world happened? I heard myself and it sounded very weird. The audio like died in a way that I can't actually explain. So I'm gonna have to trust you guys with letting me know if the audio is actually being weird, because that was insane. I don't know what just happened. Wait, did I actually? Like, did the audio actually mess up? Am I not crazy? Oh, okay. No, it was me. It was me. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, I'd be doing that normally. All right, let me introduce whoever's here. Okay. Aetherfall ttrpg is a system I'm currently working on for, you know, ttrpgs. Basically, it's going to be a jack of all trades ttrpg system. I want to be able to have a system for literally everything. There's going to be a crafting system, spell crafting system, ability / skill, physical skill crafting system, because I am heavily based off of anime, and this is completely an accident. I am heavily based off of Naruto. It's gonna take me forever. It's gonna take me so long. I accidentally made it way too similar to Naruto for a second. Like, in Naruto, there's, you know, the fucking hand signs, and those mean things. Each hand sign has a different meaning. You put all the hand signs together to make a spell. That is literally how this works, but it's not hand signs. It's rune. It's rune magic. So essentially, see if I can get a good picture, because I don't really have many pictures. Let me search up anime. Let me throw anime in here. It's literally this. It's literally this. Oh my god. I don't want to turn my ad blocker off. Not really Full Metal Alchemist. It's very like, you create giant, you see those spell runes. You create giant, like, in-universe spell runes. And that's actually a GIF, so that's a perfect example. You create a spell rune in the air using a language, like runic language, and then you can shoot shit. It's wherever you want it to be. It can be in the air, it can be on the ground, it can be on your body. It depends on how you craft it. I will actually get to that because I will show you the crafting system. Everything on here, by the way, is extremely... It's right here. I'm pointing at it as if you can see on the camera. You can't. It's right here. WIP. Everything is WIP, not just the lore. Literally everything. There's gonna be, oh my god, I need my headphones. I need them. Stop it. There is an entire system that I'm gonna work on, but right now here's the base character creation. I think it's decent. Your module is your score minus 10 divided by 2. So basically, if you have a score of 9, minus 10 is -1, divided by 2 is still -1. Therefore, you have a score of, well, -1. Give me a second. Apparently pulled my cable so bad that it also unplugged from the computer. Oh, did I fix it? No. Okay. I think I'm back. It just keeps, now it's just saying that I've unplugged my device, and it keeps saying unplugged. You plugged it back in. Unplugged. You plugged it back in. I'm like, please, can I just work? Okay, there we go. Here's the base array of stats and what they look like. Level 1, all of your stats start at 9. Not including races. I haven't made any races yet. I'll work on that. But all stats before race bonuses are at 9. And you get 10 stat points as soon as you start, and 1 stat point every 5 levels. Right now, the system is going to be balanced all the way up to level 100. And I plan on allowing people to go way higher than level 100 if I actually get to an expansion pack, which is the game plan. Come here. My puppy said hi to me, and it was really adorable. You got resources, so here's how everything's calculated. With max HPs 5d4, plus your vitality modifier times 5, plus your level times 5. So HP can scale pretty high, so there's a reason for it. A lot of things are going to scale really high in this mod, especially if you're going to be able to get to, you know, level 100 somehow. Aether max. Aether is mana. Aether in Greek mythology is the 5th element, which is the explanation for why gods were able to cast magic. It's the 5th element that they can harness. It's basically god magic. What I have right now for the lore of this world is there aren't really heavy religions. Like, you don't speak to a deity and get magical power, but a god descended into the planet with warnings that bad shit was gonna happen. Bad stuff was gonna happen. Bad gods were gonna attack, and they were like, hey, we're gonna have trouble defending all of you. Let me just give you the 5th element. I know it's supposed to be a god thing only. Let me give it to you guys. Learn whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna go get the milk. Bye-bye. And then that god hasn't returned since. Lore-wise for the system, it's been about 2 years, I'd say. 2 years since that happened, so the main lore of the universe is going to take place 2 years after that. The idea I have is when making future editions of my system and future starter packs. Yeah. No, not even God. Not even God. For future, like if I do future starter packs or future editions of the game, I plan on advancing the lore. So if I ever actually get big on this system and maybe get it like crowdfunded so I can get it started, it's going to take place 2 years after that event happened with the god. But later down the road, if I somehow make another like edition, it'll take place maybe 5 years, and I will add like way more stuff, way more abilities, way more advancements. But for now, it's going to be 2 years. It allows me to kind of make things a lot smaller, but still work. Here's the whole system for HP, Aether, and Stamina, and how that all adds. Turn actions. Usually when you think of ttrpgs, you think of a d20. You roll a d20 for everything. No. In my system, it's 5d4s. That means if you're rolling 5d4s, you're not going to roll under a 4. Or, yeah, a 5. You're not going to roll under a 5. ever, but you're generally not gonna roll numbers over like 16 as often. You're gonna mid cap at around like 11, 12, not including your mods, your ability mods, which you will get a ton of because you will be able to go up to level 100. That's usually what's going to carry you. Physical combat is not fleshed out yet. I have nothing for physical combat, but because I want to do, again, like a crafting system for it, here is the general layout of what that crafting system is going to look like. It's going to start with a stance. So you choose a stance that determines how you cast your physical ability. Then you choose an effect that will determine what your ability does. So a stance is going to be used to boost your effect. And that effect could be, again, it's right here, includes the type of damage you do, the range of your attack, the area of your attack, and then action controls the like act of doing the attack, which you use to determine certain like certain effects, or choose how many turn actions it costs to cast your spell. Oh, you don't know about turn actions yet. Give me a second. Scroll down a little bit. We got the 5d4 dice roll system. You're generally going to roll an average of 12.5. If you gain an advantage, you get 1 extra d4, so you can roll 6d4. Whereas if you get disadvantage, you roll 1 less d4. Weapon durability is going to be very important. I have an entire weapon crafting system. It's not fully fleshed out yet, but you'll be able to block and parry skills to reduce damage. Here's the kind of formula I have for durability and HP. Quality multiplier. Quality is essentially how good your crafting of the weapon is. So there's components. I haven't dubbed them a name yet. There's components that you get. So you can kill monsters and whatnot and get components. So, you know, you get poor components, common components, good, great, legendary components. Whenever you craft an item, I'm going to scroll down a bit. Oh my God, have I not written it down yet? Oh my God, I'll get to it eventually. But when you craft an item, they cost certain amounts of components. So if you're crafting a poor, like, quality weapon, it costs anywhere between 1 to 10 poor components. Once you reach a certain like unit factor, so I think for poor, it's 0 to 10 units makes a poor weapon. 10 to 20 makes a common. 20 to 40 makes a good. And you get units by upgrades. So when you're crafting a weapon, you can choose like more damage. You can reduce the amount of turn actions it costs to use your weapon. And those all cost like 5 units, 6 units, and so on. And then as you put all those units together, that determines the quality of your weapon. So if you have like a 32 unit weapon because you've chose like 3 stacks of extra damage to roll 3 more d4, for example, then those require a certain amount of components. So like for damage, I guess, let's say that cost 3 common component, or 3, what is it? What is it? What did I call? I haven't written it down for a reason, but it's like there's material components, and then what material components, and then something else components, and then aether components. So things like what is it called? When crafting a weapon, you know, extra damage can cost 1 material component and then 2 of that other kind of component. And as you put all your upgrades together, if you get 10 to 20 units, that's common. 20 to 40, that's good. Say you have 36 units worth of upgrades, that means you have a good quality weapon. So if you're making a weapon and you have all those upgrades and they cost, you know, like 7 material components and 3 regular components, you are going to need good quality components to make that weapon. 10 poor quality components make a single common component. 10 common components make a single good component, and so on. Or you can just, kill a strong enemy and just get a couple of good components. But that's kind of the crafting system. Then there's size factors for a weapon, which is light, medium, heavy. Light weapons can block a maximum of 15 damage, medium maximum of 25, and heavy a maximum of 40. And then here's the kind of crafting formula, I guess, which is quality multiplier times your size factor times 10. So if you make a good quality weapon and it's medium quality, that's 3 times 3, which is 9, times 10 is 90 HP. And then if it's a medium, you got a 25 limit, which means you have 90 HP, but that weapon can only block 25 damage. And then there's upgrades you'll be able to pick that increase the amount of damage you're able to block. If you choose them, that's up to you. But another system is if you have a 15 limit block and you get hit with a 30 damage attack, that does 60 damage to your weapon because it does double your maximum block. If it does double your maximum block, you take double durability damage to your weapon, which you're still taking like the regular damage. It's, 30 minus 15, you're only taking 15 damage from that attack. But now your weapon just took 60 total damage, which some weapons that just instantly breaks it, no good. You do not want that. Limbs are super optional. Limbs are one of the most optional things ever. I want to work more on it, but it really depends on what people want when I'm making the system. There's like torso, head, arms, legs. Each one of them have their own separate HP. So out of your full HP pool, your torso gets 50%. And then the rest of the 1/5 goes to the rest of your limbs. And whenever you get an attack, you roll a dice to determine where that attack hits. It's a d6. You will kind of attach a number to your torso, your head, your arms, legs, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after you take damage, you roll this, and that determines where whatever damage you get, that determines where it goes. And with enough damage, you can damage your limbs. So if you take way more damage, which if you drop your arm HP to 0, you sprain it. If you drop it to 0 again after, because it regenerates after you sprain it, and then you get the sprain condition. If it drops to 0 again after, you get breakage, which your arm is broken, you can't use it. And it'll regenerate, and if you somehow drop it to 0 again, your arm is gone. Your arm is gone. It's destroyed. It's gone. You're not getting it back. You can recover from a sprain from a long rest, but once your arm is broken, you need a doctor to recover it, is the system that goes for that. Here is my favorite part of this system. Magic. Magic is my favorite part, so there's like 4 pages dedicated to it. So the magic system is spell slots. You get 3 when you start, plus your intelligence modifier. And we're about to go through a lot of this. Progression, you get 1 more slot every 5 levels. Your damage rounded down is however many slots you use to cast a spell divided by 2. And that'll equal, the whatever you get from that d4 of damage plus your intelligence modifier onto the damage. Your Aether maximum, which again is just mana. Your Aether maximum is your intelligence mod times 5, and then we have compound interest. So it's intelligence modifier plus 5, and then you're going to multiply that by 1 plus your level divided by 50. So if you're level 1 divided by what the hell is 1 divided by 50? You have to use a calculator for this. This is for balancing. There was no other way to balance this. I had to add compound interest, or just none of the math would work. but it is 0.52 or no 0.002, and then 0.002 plus 1 is 1.02, which you then multiply with this, and that gives you, it can, at low levels you get like 2 extra ether to 5 extra ether, but once you get to like level 20 and 30 you start getting like 10, 20 extra ether because it adds up really fast. Helps a lot with spell casting. Now we're gonna get to rune casting, is what it's called in this system, by the way. Here is where the inspiration comes from. If anybody here knows Noida is one of the biggest inspirations for this system. Essentially, that's not what I meant. Let me see if I can do it. Is there a picture I can use? Because this kind of explains everything that I'm looking for. Well, if anybody knows anything about Noida, it's essentially Noida. You get 4 different basic principles when crafting a spell. Essence determines how your spell looks and feels, so you can turn it into fire, lightning, make it arcane energy. You can only use 1 per spell tab. I'll go into that later. Shape determines how you cast your spell. So when you choose to cast your spell, you can choose to make it a projectile. You can choose to make it a cone. You can choose it to make it a beam. You can choose to activate your spell by touching somebody. It is entirely up to you when making the spell. You can also only use a maximum of 1 of these per spell tab. Effects determines what happens. This is essentially what your spell does. Is your spell, you know, are you going to shoot a projectile that explodes after it touches somebody, or are you going to shoot a laser beam that chains onto other people? So you hit someone and then it chains onto up to 3 other people. If you're going to touch somebody, there's healing, but I'll go a little more into that a little lower, just a little lower. Enhancements are kind of extra stuff. If you're choosing AoE type of spell, which is called Burst, I think I named it. Why would I know, right? It's called Burst, probably. You can choose the AoE enchantment to increase its radius by 5 feet or 1 extra square around. And, you know, there's delay to delay certain things in the spell to whenever you want them to happen. So you can set traps. Continuation is no longer a enhancement. I deleted that because it was not good. Range boost, self-explanatory. Think of a rune slot list like your Minecraft inventory. You have 10 slots so you can fill things in. Your Minecraft hotbar is the best way to describe it. You get 3 when you start, plus your intelligence modifier, plus 1 every 5 levels. So each rune you pick takes up to 1 slot, and casting is prioritized from the left of your slot to the right of your slot. When you become an intermediate mage, you get a second spell rune tab. So think about it as 2 pages. It allows you to multicast. So if you're level 10, you can have, 7 to 8. I'm glad I said that and not one number lower. 7 to 8 spell rune. What the fuck do I call it, bro? Spell rune slot. And so if you have 2 pages or 2 tabs allowed to multicast, you can have 1 tab with 3 spell rune slots and another with 4. Separate your spell to cast 2 different spells and whatnot. Or you can put all 7 slots into 1 page and cast 1 big 7-slot spell. Let's get down to here. Aether regeneration. If you do a short rest, which is about 4 hours, you can either choose to get half of your HP back or half of your Aether, your choice. Long rest, full HP and full Aether. Aether crystals are going to be the most important plot, most important plot point of the system. Aether crystals are the kind of cornerstone of this world entirely. They grow in like the North and South Pole specifically, where the Aether way lines connect. There's Aether way lines on the planet, which is essentially like wind and how it travels. Aether travels in very specific lines to the planet where they are the strongest. North and South Pole are that point in the planet where Aether crystals, the biggest Aether crystals, grow. They can grow anywhere that mana is generally strong, but they are extremely rare, and they're used for the crafting of any form of Aether component like wands, staves, or spell blades. You can also hold them in your hand like this. See, this is an Aether crystal. What's inside of it is mana, and it fills you up. I'm energized now. I have more mana. Here is the fun part. Again, I have been working on this for a long time. Magic is my favorite thing, and I plan on adding so many more. First, we're going to go with examples before I show you how to craft a spell. For one example, you get to craft Aetherbolt, which is probably the most basic, cheapest spell you can make. It just costs projectile and strike. Projectile is... God, I cannot remember what I named these things. Projectile is... Projectile is... You don't have to do it. You have a maximum of one, but you don't need to. Projectile is the shape of your spell. And then strike is your effect. You don't need to have one of everything, but you can only have one of this and only one of this, and then everything else is free to use. With Aetherbolt, you get projectile, which costs 4 Aether, and strike, which costs 2, which is a total of 6 Aether to cast the spell. For the math, which I brought up earlier, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it does 1d4 of damage plus your intelligence modifier. So if you have a intelligence modifier of 4, which if you're going to be a spellcaster is not, it's mid-range. Like usually people want to put a little more into their intelligence at low levels if they're going to spellcast, but 4 is pretty good. You'll do about 6.5 damage on average with a single spell like that. Level 1 Fireball takes 4 slots. It requires fire, which is an effect, or essence, not an effect. It's an essence, so you can set the like flavor of your spell to be fire, and so you choose fire, projectile, burst, which is AoE, an AoE attack, and then the AoE enchantment. I think it's an enchantment if I'm correct. The AoE enchantment, which boosts your AoE of your spell by 5, or yeah, radius of your spell by 5, which is a 20 cost spell. And because it's 4 slots, 4 divided by 2 is 2, which means you do 2d4 of damage plus your intelligence modifier. And it's a 10-foot radius, which surprisingly is actually really big, by the way. We got a level 10 spell, which is, you know, a spell you're going to be casting later in game, though really it's the exact same as a fireball. So, I don't know. It's cheaper by 1, but it's a little different. When you use Lightning Chain, you choose Lightning, which does heat damage, and I have not made any of the defenses yet, so don't worry about that. I will do it later. But you choose Chain, which costs 6, Beam, which costs 8. Give me a second. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Wait. Hold on. I have to skip all the way here. Is that gonna work? No, it's gonna work. Okay. I lied. I keep forgetting where I set up my own spells and how I build them. It's been a while and I've been doing this for a minute and I'm a little tired. Essentially, it's supposed to be the other way around. Beam is supposed to be right here, and Chain is supposed to be right there. This is the wife.
I love you, but I meant it wrong.
And then they waddled away. Waddle, waddle. What? Yeah. Okay. Level 10 lightning chain, which really, as you can tell, it costs 19 Aether, is about the exact same as a level 1 spell. So I'm just gonna set it to be a level 1 spell. These are just example spells you can use when starting. This does 9 damage in a 10-foot radius, but this does 7.5 damage along a line. So these are two different things. I think the line is 30 feet. So if I shoot this spell, it's traveling 30 feet in one direction. And then any enemy it hits, they're going to get hit. And then 3 other people around them are going to also get hit. But they have to be within like 5 feet. So it'll chain whatever damage that person gets onto the next person. And depending on how far your line goes, you can actually get a lot of people in your damage chain. Like, a lot of people. It's pretty good. So it does less damage, but it can do more overall damage if you hit even more people. Here is allowed versus not allowed spells. So we got Aether Bolt, basic projectile, strike. Yeah, good spell. It has 0 essence, 1 shape, 1 effect. Fireball. Everybody knows Fireball. Fire, projectile, burst, AoE. Now, yeah. Burst, AoE. That's allowed. You have one of every single type of, what do I call it? Sorry, I just recently named this before I started streaming. It's something, but yeah. And then you have lightning, go down a little bit. And you have lightning chain, good. I already showed all these. Here's where things go crazy. Firestorm, fire essence, cone shape, burst effect. No, you can't use it. It has 2 essences. You can only use 1. Multi-shape bolt is a projectile, cone, and strike. You cannot use projectile and cone. Those are 2 shapes. You cannot use 2 shape runes. Reason for that is if I'm trying to shoot a bolt of energy and a cone of energy at the exact same time, what is the rest of the spell connected to? Because you have the damage type. But if you're shooting a bolt of energy and a cone of energy, your damage type can only connect to one of the 2. So you can either only do damage with the bolt or only do damage with the cone. And if you choose to do damage with the cone and not the bolt, that bolt is just going to travel in a direction, touch somebody, and then disappear like a smoke cloud. No reason in doing that. And then you have fire, lightning, and amplify. You have 2 essences. You're only supposed to have 1. Also, you don't have a shape, which means you're not actually casting the spell. No. Here we're going to have a quick overview. Slots. When you first create a character, you get 3 base slots plus your intelligence modifier plus 1 every 5 level. Your damage for all of your spells is how many slots you use when making your spell divided by 2. And that is how much d4 you roll plus your intelligence modifier for damage. Your Aether maximum is your intelligence modifier times 5 times 1 plus your level divided by 50. Compound interest. I don't know why I decided to add it. It was good for balancing. In order to cast rune spells, you need you got to choose rune for each of the 4 principles. I gotta reword that because that makes it sound like you have to. You don't. You just need a shape rune, and then everything else is kind of optional. You need to arrange them in your rune slot list left to right, so it's easier for you to understand what it's doing. You got to pay the Aether cost, and then you cast a spell. Here are the rune tables: essence runes, arcane rune, default, nothing special. It's like a basic. It's what you're casting. Fire is what you're turning it into. So when you cast your spell, you can turn it into a fire, which ignites people on contact, meaning you do an extra 1d6 damage over the course of 3 turns. So every time it's, their turn again, they take 1d6 damage of heat damage. Water inflicts a slow debuff for 1 turn. So whenever it's their turn, they move at half speed. Wind does knockback by 10 feet, which is 2 squares or 2 kind of movement spaces. You hit somebody with the wind essence, they go flying backwards. Yes. What happened? It's gone. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
I can't find it because I cannot put on the glasses.
They can't hear you. You have to speak into the microphone.
I'm not speaking into the microphone.
Give me however long it takes to find this real quick. Okay, I'm back. I don't know where I was or what I was doing. Well, where was I? Here we go. Earth does blunt damage when you hit somebody. I will work on damage types later. I don't have them. Lightning is heat. Converts impact to lightning. It's heat damage. I don't know why it's rated as lightning. It is heat. Heat damage, same as fire, but it inflicts stun on a failed vitality / intellect check against a DC of 10 plus your intellect modifier. So if they fail that, they are stunned next turn. They physically cannot go anywhere. They can cast spells, do whatever, but they can't move their body anywhere. Light, it just does 2 times damage to undead enemies. Shadow essence deals half damage, but it heals you for half of the half damage. So if you cast a spell that does 10 damage, well, I guess I should say half rounded down. I'll worry about that later. But if you do a spell that does 10 damage, it does 5 damage instead, and then you heal for 2.5 damage, or 2 damage because it's rounded down. Shape runes, with the way you're casting. Projectile rune, 30 feet, straight shot. It's kind of, you shoot it. Homing, you have a target in mind, you shoot it, and it'll curve and go to that target. It costs a little more, obviously, because of that. Cone, 15-foot cone, essentially dragon breath weapon, 15-foot cone. Yeah. Beam, 30-foot straight line with pierce, meaning you shoot a beam in that direction, it's going to hit the enemy, it's going to hit the enemy behind them, it's going to hit the enemy behind them, and it's going to hit the enemy behind them until there's no more enemies behind that person. Touch, well, touch, Self, own body, that you. Ground. Ground is where fun things happen. Basically, you cast a spell up to 15 feet away and you just choose a square. And that square is where that spell will decide it wants to exist. Then you got effect runes, which I should probably... Hold on, wait. Why is there that much space? Bam, 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 bam. Do what? Down one? No. Down one. Down one. There we go. I feel sneeze. I guess not. You got effect runes. These are the kind of runes that do damage. So you have strike, single target hit. Or I guess not damage, but they choose how your damage happens. Strike, single target hit. You send an attack and it hits that one person, and that's that. You do your damage. Burst, 5-foot radius of instant essence effect. So if you choose burst and kind of other things, it's AoE. It's your AoE explosions, stuff like that. You flavor it with burst. Chain jumps to 3 additional targets within 5 feet of each other. So if I hit somebody and there's 3 enemies with like right behind them, they're all gonna get hit by that attack. Contain is a trap. You set some, you shoot somebody, you attach contain to it, and now they have to make a save or they can't do anything until they beat that save. I feel like it should get buff, or I feel like the amount of ether it should cost gets buffed, because that seems a little OP now that I'm saying it out loud. I'll worry about that if I playtest it. Heal. You heal. Well, I don't know. You heal, bro. Warp. There's going to be no teleportation in this system. I don't think I want that. Maybe until later. Maybe. But teleportation is going to be a little OP and hard to work with. For now, warp lets you move inanimate objects. Here's enhancement. That's where fun stuff happens. This is where you get to choose the fun stuff. We have AoE plus 5-foot radius. I think I should just say plus 5 foot in general, because if they have a radius spell, it's going to add 5 feet to the radius, whereas if they have a cone spell, it's going to add 5 feet to the cone. I'll let that do its thing. Amplify costs 10, and spell slots divided by 2. So essentially the same as regular damage. If you have 10 spell slots, 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then this divided by 2 would also be 5. It's basically doubling. You're doubling the amount of damage you do for 10 extra ether. It's good, it's great. Pierce, I gotta rename this because I'm pretty sure Beam says Pierce as well. I'll worry about that later. Pierce costs 4 and allows you to ignore half of somebody's armor or block. So you can continue to do damage to this person. It costs, an okay amount. Delay lets you delay any runes in the slot after its placement. This is essentially so you can set up trap magic. So if you choose ground and then explosion and then delay, for example, and you set it on the ground, you can delay it to be until a command, word, or phrase. I think the command you can set is when somebody steps on top of this area, it goes kaboom. Blam, you have a trap. When somebody sets on it, explosion. Haste. I don't know why it's called haste. I'm just going to call it range. Plus 50% range. So 50% more range on any spell. I don't know if I wanted to say double, but I do know more range is nice, so I increase its price. That is all I have currently for the what is it called? The whip. The work in progress. That is the work in progress I have so far for Aetherfall. Currently, I am missing a physical combat creation system. I am missing a armor and regular gear slash like bonus stuff like necklaces and rings, whatever they're called. I'm missing a crafting system for them. I have the magic system, so I have a lot of the stuff I need, surprisingly. I don't have a race system yet, so there's no races. There's a lot that I'm missing. I right now am working on it. I want to get enough to try and start a GoFundMe and prove that I am actually working on this and see if anybody would like a system like this and wants to give me money so I can hire artists and hire like creative writers to assist me in making the system. That's the general game plan I have so far. I hope that's smart. I know right now, with all of these spells, you can actually where with all these spells, you can do quite a bit. You can make quite a few things, but I want to. This is gonna be really tough, by the way. I want to double the amount of every single one of these categories. My dog, Shadow. Come here. Come here. You want to say hi to the camera? Wherever you are? Come here. He's barking at the cat. I want to double every single one of them. So right now there's all of the, well, maybe not essence. I think I want to keep essence. But shape, I want to double them, grab more ways to cast spells. Effects, I want to double more ways to do damage. And then enhancements, I want to double those. One of the ideas I have right now, actually, I can literally, I think I can bring it to life, I think. Wait, why is there such a big space? Am I crazy? Look how big that is. Hello? Hold on. Here we go. No, it does the same. Okay, I'll worry about that later. One of the ones I want to do is telekinesis or telekinetic force to allow people to forcefully move things and people. If they're going to move animate object, or if they're going to move living creatures, they're going to have to do like some kind of check to be able to move them. But there's a lot of things I'm still missing. A lot of math that I'm like going to have to do. And one of my main things I need to work on right now is, if I go up, is the physical attacks. I need that. Okay. I don't know where to start. I don't understand how I'm going to do any of this. This is going to be one of my biggest worries. Like, I'm actually scared of... Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to see if I can come up with some ideas. I don't know any other system that has a physical skill creation, though. Like, what systems would have them? I need... Bam. Okay. I wait. I turns an initiative. I want to need a lot. I'm also, again, still going to need that physical creation system, but my head hurts. I just wanted a reason to stream and exist with people for a bit. Whether I have a shit ton of viewers or not, doesn't matter. I just wanted to chill. It's only about an hour. Like, I don't plan on streaming forever, all day. Not happening. I'm too tired for that. I'm probably not gonna, like, play any games. I did just want to vibe and yap a bit on social media about this system. So, about an hour. I did my thing. That is my system of Aetherfall. And I am streaming this on both YouTube and Twitch. So once the stream ends, it'll post that VOD on YouTube and anybody can see it. Hello. I hope whoever decides to listen to this in the future has enjoyed this yap session and like gives me tips or tells me anything that they like and dislike. I will like that. It's also my first time with a webcam like on stream. So if I seem like I don't know what I'm doing with my face, usually I'm a faceless content creator. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I rolled a 3, so I think I'm ending the stream in about 3 seconds. Bye-bye. I didn't even end stream. That was the wrong keybind that I pressed.